She only added one ingredient to honey and ended up in the ER. Linda was 67. She'd been taking honey every morning for years, a spoonful before her walk, a habit she believed kept her strong. One day, a neighbor told her to mix it with a miracle powder. It sounded harmless, natural, safe. So she stirred it in, waited a few minutes, and drank. Within hours, her stomach twisted. Her pulse raced. By evening, she was in the emergency room, frightened and confused. How could something as pure as honey turn against her? You know that feeling, when something you trusted suddenly feels dangerous. Doctors said the mix created a chemical reaction inside her body, too strong for her system to handle. She was lucky she came in early. Most people never hear stories like this. We think natural means always good, but sometimes even nature's sweetest gift can backfire when combined the wrong way. Have you ever added something to honey without checking first? You're not alone. And what happened to Linda was just the beginning. The real shock came with ingredient number 2. Mixing these two might sound harmless, but not if your stomach is empty. Robert, 71, had always believed in starting his day with something natural. So when a friend told him that honey mixed with baking soda could alkalize the body, he gave it a try. He stirred half a teaspoon into warm honey water. The first morning felt fine, but on the second day, something felt off. His stomach tightened. A wave of pressure moved up his chest. His hands turned cold, and for a moment the room spun, just enough to make him sit back down. You know that feeling when you try something that's supposed to help, but instead your body says, wait, something's wrong. Here's what happened. Honey is pure sugar. When taken on an empty stomach, it quickly spikes your blood glucose. Baking soda, on the other hand, is alkaline. It temporarily changes the pH in your stomach, lowering the acid. When your body expects to digest sugar, but suddenly gets a flood of alkalinity instead, things don't process as planned. Gas builds up. The stomach slows down. Sometimes acid rebounds, rushing back even harder. In Robert's case, his blood pressure dropped slightly. His gut became bloated. By lunchtime, he had no appetite and felt strangely foggy. He stopped the mix. 2 days later, everything returned to normal. Natural remedies can help, but timing, dose, and body state matter more than we realize. Have you tried honey in the morning? Wait till you hear about mistake number 2. What seems like a healthy herbal add-on can silently hurt your liver. Too much of a good thing can quietly damage your liver. Teresa was 64. Every night after dinner, she'd mix honey with clove powder, just half a teaspoon of each, stirred into warm water. It helped settle her stomach, took the edge off that dull cramp she'd had for years. The first few nights were lovely. She felt lighter, less bloated. She even slept a little deeper. But by the end of the week, something shifted. She started waking up tired. Her eyes looked puffy, and her sleep, once calm, became restless. You know that feeling? When something that once helped begins to feel off, like your body is whispering, this isn't working anymore. Here's what was really happening. Clove powder contains eugenol, a powerful compound with real digestive benefits. But eugenol is processed through the liver. So is glucose from honey. When you mix both in high amounts, night after night, your liver quietly works overtime. For some people, like Teresa, that strain shows up as elevated liver enzymes and subtle signs like poor sleep, fatigue, or cloudy thinking. Teresa didn't connect the dots right away. Her doctor noticed the enzyme spike in a routine blood test. The culprit? That bedtime drink she thought was harmless. She stopped the clove for a while, cut the honey in half. Within 10 days, her energy returned. Her sleep came back. Even natural doesn't mean safe, especially with number 3 coming up. This next combination is something many seniors use for pain, but it might thin your blood too much. The number 1 combo seniors use: could quietly cause internal bleeding. George was 73. He'd read somewhere that honey and apple cider vinegar, taken each morning, could ease joint pain and boost digestion, so he made it a habit. 1 spoon of honey, 1 capful of vinegar, stirred into warm water. He also took low-dose aspirin, something his doctor had prescribed years ago. For a week, everything seemed fine. Then, small bruises started showing up, first on his arms, then along his thighs. He didn't bump into anything, didn't fall, just bruises appearing out of nowhere. You know that feeling when your body sends quiet signals and you're not sure what they mean. Then came the dizziness. Just a few seconds when standing up too fast. A sudden wave of lightness, not enough to fall, but enough to worry. Here's the science. Apple cider vinegar naturally thins the blood just slightly. Honey helps nutrients and other substances absorb faster. Add aspirin to that mix, and you've got a triple effect. Your blood becomes too thin. Tiny vessels near the skin can break. Bruising happens easily. And inside, you may not see it, man, but the risk is real. George saw his doctor. Blood work showed lower clotting factors. The combination, vinegar, honey, and aspirin, was quietly tipping the balance. He stopped the vinegar, cut the honey in half, kept the aspirin under supervision. The bruising faded. The dizziness stopped. Mixing doesn't always mean synergy. Sometimes it means danger. But honey isn't the enemy if you use it with this one trick. When used correctly, honey becomes nature's quietest healer. Marlene was 69. For years, she struggled to fall asleep. Her mind would race. Her body felt restless even when she was tired. One evening, her granddaughter handed her a simple mix, just 3 drops of honey in warm water. Nothing fancy, no pills, no promises. She took a sip, then sat quietly in bed, breathed deep, and something surprising happened. Her chest felt looser. Her shoulders softened. Within 20 minutes, her breathing slowed. That night, she fell asleep without even realizing it. You know that moment when your body finally lets go, not because you forced it, but because it was ready. Here's what science tells us. Honey, in small doses, can gently stimulate serotonin, the calming chemical in your brain. When paired with warm water, especially before bed, it lowers cortisol, relaxes the amygdala, the part of the brain tied to fear and alertness. Want to take it further? Add 1 drop of lavender oil or a pinch of crushed garlic. Not both, just 1. Each adds its own layer of calm or gentle detox. But the key is simplicity. No overload, no sugar rush, no mixing a dozen ingredients hoping for magic. Honey works best when the body feels safe, calm, receptive. Marlene now ends every evening the same way, not with a pill, but with a moment, a pause, a breath, a sip of golden quiet. Let's look at what honey really does when your body is ready for it, especially when it comes to this invisible condition. Why does honey help some seniors but hurt others? Linda was 66. She had heard that taking a spoonful of honey before bed could help calm the nerves and settle digestion. It sounded simple, and she loved the idea of using something natural, so she gave it a try. For 2 nights, it felt gentle, warm, comforting. But by the 3rd night, her stomach felt off. The next morning, she woke up feeling bloated. By afternoon, she had to rush to the bathroom. You know that moment when something feels wrong, but you can't quite explain why? She thought maybe it was something she ate, so she kept going. Another night, another episode. Turns out her gut was sending a message. Here's what was happening. Honey feeds bacteria, the good kind and the not so good. If your gut is already balanced, honey can support healthy digestion. But if your microbiome is off, even slightly, honey may feed the wrong side. It's called gut dysbiosis, and it's more common than most people think. In Linda's case, stress, age, and antibiotics from years past had quietly shifted her gut balance. So when she introduced honey, it acted like fuel for the wrong team. Her doctor ran a stool test just to be safe. Sure enough, she had low diversity in her gut bacteria. She paused the honey, added a bit of fiber, some fermented vegetables. A week later, she tried honey again, just half a teaspoon. This time, no issues. Balance is everything, and you'll love how number 7 brings it all together. The next story? A woman with brain fog. Reversed it in 72 hours using honey. She forgot why she walked into rooms until honey changed that. Rachel was 70. Sharp her whole life. The kind of woman who remembered birthdays, old phone numbers, even the names of her childhood neighbors. But lately, something had shifted. She'd walk into the kitchen and stand there, unsure why she came. She'd lose track of sentences, misplace simple things, her glasses, her teacup, the grocery list she'd just written. You know that feeling, when your mind feels cloudy like it's there, but not fully awake. Her granddaughter studying nutrition suggested a simple morning mix. Just 1 teaspoon of honey paired with a low dose of niacin, a form of vitamin B3, dissolved in warm water. It sounded too easy, but Rachel gave it a try. On the first day, she felt nothing. But on the second, something shifted. Her mind felt lighter. She finished a crossword she hadn't touched in weeks. By day 3, she noticed it clearly. Words came faster. She was more present in conversations. Even her handwriting looked steadier. Science explains why. Honey delivers natural glucose, gentle fuel for the brain. Niacin opens blood vessels slightly, increasing circulation. Together, they boost nitric oxide, which supports blood flow to the brain's frontal regions. That's the part tied to focus, memory, attention. Rachel didn't change her diet, didn't take a new medication, just one small morning ritual and a little patience. Clarity starts from circulation, and you'll love how the next trick helps sleep. Let's go to the last piece. The one that helps you finally sleep through the night. Forget warm milk. Try this on your feet instead. Mike was 75. He hadn't slept through the night in years. He'd fall asleep fine, but always woke around 2:30 a.m. Wide awake, restless, exhausted by morning. His daughter, a massage therapist, suggested something odd, rubbing honey and castor oil on the soles of his feet. He laughed at first. Then one night, out of frustration, he tried it. He mixed a drop of honey with a few drops of castor oil, rubbed it gently into each foot right before bed, pulled on clean cotton socks. The first night, not much. The second, he stayed asleep until 4. By night 4, he slept through to sunrise. You know that feeling when your body feels safe. Still, like something inside you finally exhaled. Here's what's happening. The soles of your feet are packed with nerve endings, tiny gateways into your nervous system. Castor oil is rich in ricinoleic acid, which helps reduce inflammation and ease tension. Honey, when applied to the skin, signals calm to the parasympathetic system, the part of your body that handles rest and repair. Together, they trigger a gentle cascade, lowering cortisol, easing pulse, and helping your mind quiet down. No pills, no melatonin, just touch, warmth, simplicity. Mike now keeps a small bottle by his bedside, just a few drops each night, a quiet habit that slowly changed everything. You've seen how powerful honey is. Now let's wrap it up with what truly matters, because healing is more than just avoiding the wrong mix. It's about reconnecting. It's not about the honey. It's about how we listen to our body. Every person you've met in this story, Linda, Robert, Teresa, George, Marlene, Rachel, Mike, started with the same thing: a desire to feel better. Not to run marathons, not to turn back time, just to feel steady, rested, clear. They didn't all get it right the first time. Some mixed too much. Some mixed the wrong things. Some ignored the early signs their body was whispering, but eventually they slowed down, paid attention, adjusted gently. You know that shift when you stop forcing and start listening? Honey, in all its simplicity, became a mirror. It showed what helped, what hurt, where healing could happen, and where it couldn't until the body was ready. One drop calmed the nerves. One drop clouded the stomach. One drop helped a woman remember names she thought she'd lost. Another drop helped a man finally sleep through the night. It wasn't magic. It was presence. That moment before bed when you breathe slower. That quiet cup of warm water at sunrise. That pause when something feels off and you choose not to push through. That's where healing lives, not in perfect formulas, but in tiny, repeated moments of noticing, honoring, trusting. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin, gently. And if one small drop could do this, imagine what happens when we add breath. Sometimes the most powerful remedy is already sitting on your kitchen shelf, not wrapped in plastic, not behind a pharmacy counter, but quiet, familiar, waiting. Honey has been around for thousands of years, used in temples, on wounds, in lullabies, whispered from mother to child. And yet today, it's still misunderstood. You've seen how something so simple can go wrong when mixed without care. Too much baking soda, too much clove, a hidden interaction with medications. But you've also seen how it can heal. A spoon in the morning clearing brain fog. A foot rub at night, ending weeks of broken sleep. A tiny change in timing bringing peace to a restless gut. It's not just about the honey. It's about how we show up for our own healing. How we notice the whispers before they become screams. You know that moment when you're holding the cup in your hands. Warm, gentle, steady. And something inside you says, this is enough for now. That's what healing really is. Not fixing everything at once, not chasing perfection, but giving your body one small act of kindness every single day. So try just one of these changes, then come back here and share what you felt, because your story might help someone else. And in the next video, we'll reveal one secret spot on your body where honey works even faster, a place you've probably never considered.